to my channel. Today I'm going to be decorating my hutch for fall, and I cannot wait to bring y'all along for the process. If you watch my videos, you know that my hutch is my absolute favorite piece in my home to decorate with for every season, so I can't wait to get started. And I'm also going to be sharing with you at the end of this a delicious pumpkin bread recipe, so make sure that you stay tuned. I hope you enjoy it, and let's go ahead and get started with decorating. Up here at the top, I want to add this leaf garland. I got this from Joann Fabrics a couple years ago, and I just love the burnt orange and the deep colors in this. So I think I'm just going to drape it across the top like this, kind of let it hang down a little bit in the front. Next, I'm going to add a thrifted basket to the top of my hutch, and I'm going to add some of our little homegrown pumpkins in here. And then on the other side, I'm going to bring out some of my brass candlesticks. I really love to bring these out during fall. I love the color and the warm tone that they bring in, and having these candles out just feels so cozy. I want to get some LED candles to go in these actually, so that I can have them glowing and I don't really have to light a candle. And then I'm going to add a ironstone platter and some other pretty vintage thrifted pieces on the top of this hutch. All of my dried wheat and other dried florals that you'll see me using on my hutch is all from Hobby Lobby in their dried floral section. I love adding that to little creamers and pitchers this time of year. It just looks like you went and cut it from outside, and I love the natural look. And then I'm going to add this cute little faux pie here in the front of these pitchers. On the second shelf, I'm going to add my pumpkin pie plate to the center, and then I'm going to add a few more pitchers with some dried floral and dried wheat. Shared these ironstone plates in my previous fall thrift haul. If you haven't seen that, I'll have it linked. But I love the beautiful sage green color in them, and I'm just going to use those as a little riser underneath this creamer. Now I'm going to add in some more homegrown pumpkins. This is one of my favorites because it grew different than the rest. Most of them are round, and this one is oval shape, and it has kind of a little curvy stem. There's no blemishes on it whatsoever, and I just think it's beautiful. So I'm going to put this guy right over here in this corner. Since it's nice and tall, I feel like that kind of balances out with the height on this side. And then I'm going to add another one right next to it that has a more round shape to kind of match that one up there. And I'm going to add a little stand under this one just to raise it up a little bit. And then of course I'm going to add my little pie dish next to the pumpkin pie plate and the pumpkins. And I always like to put these little wicker plates underneath it, since it's white and it will kind of blend in with my hutch. This kind of adds some color to separate it a little bit. On the bottom of my hutch, I'm going to add some of my favorite fall cookbooks along with my vintage wooden recipe box. And then on the other side, I'm going to add some of our apple pie filling. I've been loving having some of what we've recently just canned for the current season on display on my hutch. I feel like it looks really cozy and delicious to have that set out. Now it is time to get started on the pumpkin bread recipe. I love having some of this made up during fall to go with my coffee in the mornings. And I was a little bit sad to carve into one of these pumpkins, but thankfully we grew enough that I'll have some to bake with and then also some to decorate with, as you saw. And I was so unsure about how this process would work or if this would even turn out because I'd never made homemade pumpkin puree before. But I'm really happy that it was successful and very, very easy to make as well. So I thought I would share the process. So I just cut the pumpkin in half and I'm scooping out all the seeds. I'm going to save those and roast them. And then you just put the pumpkin face down on a baking sheet and bake it at 375 for about 40 minutes. And then once you can stab a fork into them easily and they're nice and soft on the inside, then it is time to scoop out the inside of the pumpkin, mix it up or put it in your blender and puree it, and then there you have your homemade pumpkin pie filling. I also wanted to mention that you can find these sugar pie pumpkins at local farmers markets and farm stands and places like that this time of year. So if you wanted to make your own pumpkin puree for recipes this fall, then you can be on the lookout for those. They're usually just a couple of dollars each at those places. I'm so happy that that worked out. By the way, I love that immersion blender. I just got that a couple months ago and I've used it so much since I got it. I'll link the one that I have down below, but it's so easy for stuff like this because you don't have to transfer it into a blender or a food processor. You can just put it right in your bowl and blend it up. But this was totally just trial and error because I'd never done it before. And I was like, if it doesn't work out, I'll just go buy a can of pumpkin. But I'm so happy it worked. We have some homemade pumpkin puree. So I'm going to start making the pumpkin bread now. I'm adding flour, baking soda, salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, and then in a separate bowl, sugar, brown sugar, egg whites, milk, and then you're going to add your pumpkin puree into that. And I ended up having a lot of this pumpkin left, so I just put that in a mason jar and I'm going to stick that in the fridge and I can use it for pumpkin muffins or a pumpkin roll. I definitely want to make another one of those this year. I love those pumpkin rolls with the cream cheese filling, but I'm so happy that with one pumpkin I got enough puree to do several recipes with. So I'm just gonna keep that in the fridge, and I will have the whole pumpkin bread recipe in the description box if you are interested in making it. It would also be so good to add in like chocolate chips or nuts. I ended up just adding some powdered sugar on the top of mine. Maybe next time I'll add in some little extras, but this time I just wanted it kind of a basic pumpkin bread, but it was so delicious and so comforting to enjoy this time of year. Is going to be it for this fall decorate and bake with me. I hope you all enjoyed spending this cozy day with me. It makes me so happy that you all love fall just as much as I do, and I love that we can share ideas and recipes and different things with each other. I love when you all share things with me over on Instagram as well, so be sure to go follow me over on there if you're not already. But I'm so glad we get to spend this season together. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I would love for you to join us here, and give this video a like if you love all things fall. I hope you have an amazing cozy fall season, and I will see y'all in my next video.